You're training hard, lifting consistently, tracking your macros, and maybe even downing the perfect post-workout shake. But despite all the effort, your muscle gains have stalled, or worse, started to regress. If that sounds familiar, the issue might not be your workout plan or your diet. The problem could be happening during the hours you're not in the gym. In fact, the most overlooked and often most destructive factor in building muscle is sleep and recovery. Not understanding this one element is like trying to build a house with no foundation. You might stack the bricks, but they'll never hold. Let's be clear from the start, muscles don't grow in the gym. They grow when you're resting. Lifting weights creates micro tears in your muscle fibers. The real magic happens during recovery, when your body repairs those tears and builds them back stronger and larger. That process is driven largely by sleep. Without enough quality sleep, your body never gets the full opportunity to rebuild. Instead of gaining muscle, you're just accumulating fatigue, inflammation, and frustration. If your recovery is broken, your results will be too, no matter how perfect your programming is. So, what exactly happens during sleep that's so crucial for muscle growth? First, deep sleep triggers the release of human growth hormone, HGH. This hormone plays a vital role in tissue repair, muscle development, and fat metabolism. Studies show that up to 70% of your daily HGH is secreted during the deepest stages of non-REM sleep. Miss out on that stage, whether because of insufficient sleep or disrupted patterns, and you're essentially cutting off your body's natural anabolic environment. Think of it like leaving money on the table every night. Sleep also regulates your testosterone levels, another essential hormone for muscle growth. A single night of poor sleep can reduce testosterone production by up to 15%. Over a week, that compounds, leaving you with reduced drive, strength, and recovery capacity. Testosterone isn't just about building muscle. It influences how aggressive and focused you feel during your workouts. Low levels can make training feel sluggish and unproductive, turning your sessions into chores rather than breakthroughs. It's no surprise that elite athletes obsess over sleep just as much as they do over their training. But sleep isn't just about hormones. It also directly impacts your nervous system recovery. Your central nervous system, CNS, takes a beating during heavy lifting sessions, especially with compound movements like deadlifts, squats, and bench presses. If your CNS doesn't get the chance to fully recover, your coordination, strength output, and even muscle recruitment patterns can become impaired. That means you're not just training tired, you're training less efficiently. Over time, that leads to plateaus, poor form, and even injury. Sleep is the reset button for your CNS. Without pressing it, you're operating in a constant state of burnout. One overlooked aspect of poor sleep is its effect on muscle protein synthesis, MPS. That's the process by which your body builds new muscle tissue. When sleep is compromised, your ability to synthesize protein is blunted. Even if your diet is perfect, you can eat all the protein shakes and chicken breasts you want, but if your body isn't in a state conducive to muscle building, the nutrients aren't being used optimally. It's like having all the building materials but no workers on the job site. Your efforts become inefficient and yield minimal returns. Then there's the issue of catabolic hormones, particularly cortisol. This stress hormone spikes when you don't sleep enough, and chronic elevation of cortisol can break down muscle tissue, increase fat storage, and suppress recovery. High cortisol levels are the enemy of gains. It doesn't matter how intense your workout was. If you're not getting deep, restorative sleep, you're not just halting muscle growth, you're actively reversing it. Long term, this hormonal imbalance creates a vicious cycle of fatigue, poor performance, and body composition issues. Now let's address recovery outside of sleep, because it matters too. Many lifters still follow the old school mindset of no days off, wearing overtraining as a badge of honor. But in reality, training without recovery is just punishment. Muscles need time to heal. Without proper rest days, mobility work, and stress management, your muscles stay inflamed and tight. Worse, your risk of injury skyrockets. The irony: taking rest days actually helps you train harder and build more muscle over time. Strategic deload weeks, active recovery sessions, and mobility work aren't signs of weakness. They're signs of a smart athlete. Another way poor recovery sabotages your gains is through increased injury risk. When you train in a state of fatigue, either from poor sleep or from inadequate recovery, you compromise your movement patterns. You're more likely to round your back during a deadlift, let your knees cave in during squats, or shift your weight unevenly on a bench press. These small inefficiencies don't always cause injury immediately, but they add up over time. One tweak, one strain, and you're sidelined for weeks, maybe months, all because you didn't give your body the downtime it needed. Let's talk numbers. Research consistently shows that 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night is optimal for muscle growth. Not 5, not 6. And no, you can't catch up on the weekend. Chronic sleep deprivation, even by just 1 hour a night, accumulates quickly and affects nearly every aspect of muscle development. If you're serious about maximizing gains, you should be tracking your sleep just as religiously as you track your macros or your PRs. Wearables like WHO, Oura Ring, or even a basic sleep app can give you insights into your sleep stages and quality. It's not just about time in bed. It's about how much deep, restorative sleep you're actually getting. On the flip side, optimizing sleep can become a secret weapon. Establish a nighttime routine that prioritizes recovery. Turn off screens an hour before bed, lower the lights, and keep your room cool and dark. Magnesium, zinc, and glycine supplements can help deepen sleep, as can practices like meditation or breath work. Make sleep sacred, something you protect like your training schedule. The truth is, elite-level results require elite-level recovery. There's no way around it. Recovery also includes nutrition timing and hydration, especially post-workout. After you train, your body enters a state of heightened nutrient sensitivity. If you neglect proper refueling, both macronutrients and electrolytes, you prolong your recovery time and limit your muscle building potential. But even more important than the post-workout meal is your overall daily intake. Recovery is a 24-hour job. That means eating enough calories, consuming sufficient protein, and staying hydrated across the board, not just right after the gym. Mobility massage, foam rolling, and even things like cold plunges or contrast therapy can also play a role in speeding up recovery. These tools improve circulation, reduce soreness, and keep your joints moving freely. You don't need to spend hours on recovery work, but 10-15 minutes of targeted mobility or self-myofascial release every day can go a long way. It's not just about feeling better. It's about keeping your body in the optimal state to grow, lift, and progress. Mental recovery is the final piece of the puzzle. Chronic stress, whether from work, relationships, or life in general, raises cortisol and interferes with sleep, appetite, and performance. Meditation, journaling, gratitude, or simply spending time away from screens and social media can dramatically improve mental clarity and recovery. If your brain is constantly wired, your body never gets the message that it's time to rest. The mind and body are linked, and if you're mentally burnt out, your physical gains will stall no matter how dialed in your routine is. To wrap this up, here's the brutal truth you can't train poor sleep or lazy recovery. Your body doesn't care how hard you grind if you're not giving it the tools to rebuild. Think of sleep and recovery as the hidden gears in the machine of muscle growth. They're quiet, often ignored, but absolutely essential. The lifters who maximize these factors build strength faster, grow muscle quicker, and avoid burnout and injury. So before you add more sets, increase volume, or switch up your split, ask yourself, am I sleeping enough? Am I recovering deeply? Because if you're not, that's your real plateau. And once you fix it, the gains will follow fast.